story? There's 9 books. You choose one.
Frosty the Snowman, the longest book that we have.
Frosty the Snowman?
Yes.
I've had this book longer than you've been alive.
Like a decade?
More than a decade.
Like 10 decades?
2012.
2 times?
Less than a decade.
Okay.
Alright.
Frosty. Wait, how much fun?
I don't think that works anymore. It used to. Let's see.
Let's see.
Nope, it don't work. Alright, we gotta read it.
Wait,
no, I have to put batteries in it. If you push that button, it'll erase all everything that we did years ago.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul with a corn cob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman is a
Fairy tale,
they say. He was made of snow, but the children know that how he came to life one fine day.
One day, the word fine's not in there. Try to read it.
There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. Stole.
They stole it?
Yeah, from the magician, remember?
That's right.
For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Frosty the Snowman was
alive as
he could be, and the children say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me.
Thumpity.
Thumpity, thump, thump, thumpity, thump, thump. Look at Frosty go. Thumpity, thump, thump, thumpity, thump, thump, thumpity.
Over
the hills of snow. Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman. Let's see if this light works. Nope. Alright, do you want to read another book?
Wait, let's put the 8 books around us, so let me see which one I want to read.
This one's Jackie's Gift, Yes, Virginia, A Charlie Brown's Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Benji's First Christmas, Another Charlie Brown Christmas, A Very Marley Christmas, and what is that one? The Spirit of Christmas. Which one do you want?
Frosty.
You already read Frosty. Rudolph.
I said I meant Rudolph.
Alright, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph
You want me to read this one?
Yeah.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and all through the hills the reindeer were playing, enjoying their spills, while every so often they'd stop to call names at one little deer not allowed in the games. Ha ha, look at Rudolph, his nose is a sight. It's red as a beet, twice as big, twice as bright. While Rudolph just cried, what else could he do? He knew that the things they were saying were true. Where most reindeers' noses are brownish and tiny, poor Rudolph's was red, very large and quite shiny. In daylight it sparkled, the picture shows that. At nighttime it glowed like the eyes of a cat. Although he was lonesome, he always was good, obeying his parents as the good reindeer should. That's why on this day Rudolph almost felt playful. He hoped that from Santa, soon driving his sleigh full of presents and candy and dollies and toys for good little animals, good girls and boys, he'd just get as much, and this is what pleased him, as the happier, handsomer reindeer who teased him. So as night and a fog hid the world like a hood, he went to bed hopeful. He knew he'd be good. While way, way up north, on the same foggy night, old Santa was packing his sleigh for its flight. This fog, he called out, will be hard to get through. He shook his round head, and his tummy shook too. Without any stars or a moon as our compass, this extra dark night is quite likely to swamp us. To keep from collisions, we'll have to fly slow. To see where we're going, we'll have to fly low. We'll steer by the street lamps and houses tonight in order to finish before it gets light. Just think how the boys' and girls' hopes would be shaken if we didn't reach them before they awaken. Come Dasher, come Dancer, come Prancer and Vixen, come Comet, come Cupid, come Donner and Blitzen. Be quick with your suppers, get hitched in a hurry. You till will find fog, a delay and a worry.
One thing, can't he just follow that?
Do you know what that is?
The Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights, that's good.
He's supposed to follow them.
He's supposed to follow them?
Yes.
But see, when he was probably following them, and right here, there is no Northern Lights.
No, but then he's supposed to take a turn
And keep going in circles? Yeah. All right. But then how would he get, like, people in South America with no Northern Lights?
Maybe South America's there.
Possibly. Good theory. Should want me to keep reading to find out what happens?
This is a long book, I don't think so.
Yeah, it is a long book.
It has like 100 pages.
Let's count them. We're on page 4. And Santa was right, as he usually is. The fog was as thick as a soda's white fizz. He tangled in treetops again and again and barely missed hitting a huge speeding plane. That doesn't rhyme with anything. Just not getting lost needed all Santa's skill, with street signs and numbers more difficult still. He still made good speed with the much twisting and turning, as long as the street lamps and house lights were burning. At each house, first checking what people might live there, he'd quickly pick out the right presents to give there. But lights will be out after midnight, he said, for even most parents have then gone to bed. Because it might wake them, a match was denied. Oh my, he wished for just one star to guide him. Through dark streets and houses, old Santa did poorly. He now picked the presents more slowly, less surely. He really was worried, for what would he do if folks started waking before he was through? The night was still foggy and not all clear when Santa arrived at the home of the deer. Onto the roof with the clouds all around it, he searched for the chimney and he finally found it. The room he came down, it was blacker than ink. He went for a chair, but it turned out to be a sink. The first reindeer's bedroom was so very black, he tripped on the rug and burst open his sack, so dark that he had to move close to the bed and peek very hard at the sleeping deer's head. Before he could choose the right kind of toy, a doll for a girl or a train for a boy.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. What is that noise? Is it one of those elves?
No.
What was it?
What the heck?
Oh, we'll get back up
I do
there.
not remember this.
I didn't know what that was screaming.
What the heck?
Oh, just put it on the floor. We finish our story.
I did not like that.
Did it scare you?
Did it scare you?
Yes, it scared me. I thought the elves were possessed. I thought we just got on the naughty list or something. right, you ready?
Yes.
But all this took time and filled Santa with gloom while feeling his way toward the next reindeer's room. The door he just opened when, to his surprise, a soft glowing red-colored light met his eyes. The lamp wasn't burning, the light came instead from something that lay at the head of the bed. And there lay, but wait now, what would you suppose? The glowing, you've guessed it, was Rudolph's bright red nose. So this room was easy. This one little light let Santa pick quickly the gifts that were right. How happy he was till he went out the door. The rest of the house was as black as before. So black that it made every step a dark mystery. And then came the greatest idea in all of history. He went back to Rudolph and started to shake him, of course very gently in order to wake him. And Rudolph could hardly believe his own eyes. You just can imagine his joy and surprise at seeing who stood there a paw's length away and told of the darkness and fog and delay, and Santa's great worry that children might awaken before his complete Christmas trip had been taken. And you, he told Rudolph, may yet save the day. Your bright shiny nose, son, can show us the way. I need you, young fellow, to help me tonight to lead all my dear on the rest of our flight. And Rudolph broke out into such a big grin, it almost connected his ears to his chin. He scribbled a note to his folks in a hurry. I've gone to help Santa, he wrote, don't worry. Said Santa, meet me and my sleigh on the lawn. You'd stick in the chimney, and flash, he was gone. So Rudolph pranced out through the door very gay. He took his proud place at the head of the sleigh. Did you see the note? The rest of the night, well, what would you guess? Old Santa's idea was a brilliant success. And brilliant was almost no word for the way the Rudolph directed the deer in the sleigh. In the spite of the fog, they flew quickly and low, and made such good use of the wonderful glow that shone out from Rudolph at each intersection, that not even once did they lose direction. At all of the houses in the streets with a sign on them, the sleigh flew real low so Rudolph could shine on them. To tell who lived there, to tell who lived where, and just what to give whom, they'd stop by each window and peek in the room. Old Santa knew always which children were good, and reminded their parents, and ate as they should. So Santa would pick out the gift that was right, with Rudolph close by, making just enough light. It all went so fast that before it was day, the very last present was given away. The very last stocking was filled to the top, just as the sun was preparing to pop. The sun woke the reindeer in Rudolph's hometown. They found the short message that he'd written down, then gathered outside to wait his return. And when they surprised and were surprised and excited to learn that Rudolph, the ugliest deer of them all, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, bashful and small, the funny-faced fellow they always called names and practically never allowed in their games, was now to be envied by all, far and near, for no greater honor can come to a deer than riding with Santa and guiding his sleigh, the #1 job on the #1 day. The sleigh and its reindeer soon came to view, and Rudolph still led them as downward they flew. Oh my, was he proud as they came to a landing, right where his handsomer playmates were standing. The same deer who used to do nothing but tease him would now have done anything only to please him. They felt even sorrier they had been bad when Santa said, Rudolph, I never had a deer quite so brave or so brilliant as you at fighting black fog and steering me through. By you last night's journey was actually bossed. Without you, I'm certain we'd all have been lost. I hope you'll continue to keep us from grief on future dark trips as my commander-in-chief. While Rudolph was blushed from his head to his toes, till all of his fur was as red as his nose, the crowd first applauded then started to screech, "Hooray for our Rudolph, we want a speech." But Rudolph, still bashful despite being a hero, was tired. His sleep on the trip totaled 0. So that's why his speech was quite short and not bright. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And that's why whenever it's foggy and gray, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer who guides Santa's sleigh. By listening this Christmas, but don't make a peep, 'cause that late at night children should be asleep. The very first sound that you'll hear on the roof, that is if there's fog, will be Rudolph's small hoof. And soon after that, if you're still as a mouse, you may hear a swish as he flies around the house and shines enough light to give Santa a view of you in your room. And when they are all through, you may hear them call as they drive out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." What is that?
It's a little baby owl, isn't it?
Yep.
And then mama owl.
A baby owl and a mama owl.
2 baby owls and a mama owl.
2 baby owls and a mama owl. What's that say?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see weird.
Let's see. Merry Christmas, everyone. The end.